Hello everyone, welcome back to Data Valley. This is Harsha Kondoviti, directly reporting from Data Valley's AI Center of Excellence. In today's video, we're going to dive into how to build your first AI agent using Crew AI. So there are a lot of frameworks, a lot of tools to build AI agents and agentic AI systems, but at the foundation level, we prefer Crew AI, which is more of like tells us clear explanation, or it comes with clear explanation of agent components, agentic architecture, right? So every framework out there solves a particular problem with the previous frameworks. Every single framework or tool, let it be no code or low code, even high coding frameworks such as LangChain, LangGraph, and Autogen. So a lot of frameworks solves particular problem with some other framework. For example, LangChain is more developed for LLM chains to retain the context, right? To retain the conversations, and um, this Autogen is more of like the first framework to evolve for multi-agent development, multi-agentic system development, and um, this Crew AI is more of like beginner friendly that offers that offers building multi-agent systems, treating them as crews. For example, if you're traveling on a ship, you might know, or if you have ever heard of this pilots, or I mean cabin crews, or even the ship. So there we have crew, which is nothing but who are nothing but the team of members. So we treat these AI agents as team of members, and these AI agents will be part of the different teams at organizations. So there we call them as AI teammates, right? So part of that and part of this AI agentic AI foundations, we are learning this building first AI agent using this simple framework. And we have the simplest framework, which is Crew AI, and we're going to dive into how to build first AI agent. So we have a lot of frameworks. To discuss those frameworks, let's just understand this Crew AI first, and in coming videos or in coming days we'll be having more of these videos on different frameworks, let's say LangChain, LangGraph, Autogen, right? So stay tuned to us, please do subscribe. With this, let's dive into our example, which is nothing but the shopping agent. So here, let's just start coding live uh, the shopping agent. Let's just understand this shopping agent. For example, whenever we want to decide on particular things, for example, when we are shopping on Amazon cart, or let's say Amazon or Flipkart, whatever it is, so we might face some issues of comparing different products to buy products on shopping sites, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to have an agent that helps us with the decision making while buying the products. This I know this is just a simple example, but the thing is, the key thing here is to understand how do we build AI agents using the simplest framework, so that we can understand how to treat these AI agents and also the tools, or let's say how do we give the capabilities to these AI agents, so that we can understand how these agentic patterns come out and agentic architectures look like, so that we can also plan a complex system for complex use case when we learn this, when we have these foundations, right? So we'll be going through this complete step by step execution, I mean live building of AI agent Crew, step by step implementation for live coding and execution, right? So there we have multiple steps for building this agentic system or shopping decision agent. we're going to build it through multiple steps. First step comes with installing the necessary libraries, right? So for this AI agent, we need Crew AI, which is the most important library here, and LangChain to orchestrate the usage of LLMs, which is the most sophisticated framework for using LLMs, LangChain for using LLMs. Right? And we need to have a LangChain OpenAI library, which is helpful for integrating OpenAI libraries, as well as when we use this OpenAI, we need to have OpenAI library as well, because to communicate or to use those models, we need to have OpenAI library, which offers few functions to communicate with the LLMs. So LLMs in this case refer to GPT models, right? It could be GPT-4, GPT-4.1, whatever it is, right? And then we have a .env library to load the environment variables, right? And then we have um, um, through AI tools, right? Because whenever we want to perform some actions using Crew AI agents, we need to have supporting tools that give capabilities to these AI agents. So let's first install these AI agents. Let's first install all of these tools or the libraries that we need. So for that, we need to go to Crew AI tools. So whenever we install this multi-word libraries, we need to use um, the particular specification that we have, right? And also we have this LangChain OpenAI as the library, right? And also we have this OpenAI library, right? And we have this python.env which loads the environment variables, and then we have the request. Whenever we make some requests to any external sites for information, we need to have request libraries because it is helpful for calling APIs. So executing this, like installing all the libraries, might take some time because I have them already on my system. It says requirement already satisfied. For the first time, whenever you execute, it takes a lot of time, maybe for at least 2 to 3 minutes if your system is faster. And it says there is an error with the beautiful soup. Let me just check the library name. It's beautiful soup 4. So that's how we make mistakes while giving the library names. And also it's wise to double check the library names before even pressing the button, especially when you are recording videos. So yeah, so it's still installing, and it might take maybe another 1 to 1.5 minutes. So it's already taking 20 to 23 4 I mean 24 seconds, 25, 26, 27. So it might take some of the time as well. But meanwhile, let me just go with the few other steps as well. So part of the entire process, we need to um, here we'll be using Serper API for information extraction. For example, if we want to search for some product, we'll just go to Google and search for the product, right? So similarly, for this AI agent to get information from the web, we are going to use Serper API for information extraction, right? So for that, we need to go to server.dev, which is the amazing platform which gives you 2,500 queries, free queries for using it with AI agents or your applications, right? So the first one we'll do is we'll just go to Server API and then get an API key, which is very simple. You'll just create an account there and then verify your email. It sends you a verification email. You just verify it and then come back to the Server platform and create the API keys, which is very simple. There is no payment required for the first 2,500 queries. It's all free for you, right? And then you'll get the OpenAI API key For this, you'll definitely need some credits. Maybe OpenAI sometimes offer free credits as well. It might not be available now, but the thing is, you would at least get $5 when you verify your OpenAI account with credit card or debit card. So if you just verify your account with your debit card or credit card, OpenAI sends out $5 in your credit as part of the initial registration or initial joining bonus. So it's kind of like that. If you have already account on OpenAI platform, so you'll just go to the platform and you just top it up for this experiment. So if you are really into AI, you might need AI tool, at least one AI tool to work out with the LLM models. I'm talking about the LLM models which are trending and which are really good at giving the responses or getting the tasks done. So in that case, you need at least one AI tool in this current market scenario to experiment with the AI models or AI applications or the existing AI applications, the foundation models, what we call it as. So OpenAI API key will get it from the Open AI platform, right? So now my second step comes with um, importing all the libraries. So let's just understand this step. Step two comes with importing libraries, right? So let's just import all the libraries. We have already installed OpenAI, LangChain, CrewAI tools, and .env, lot of libraries. So part of that we'll just import OS library, which is helpful for working with this environment variable, setting the environment variables and all. So here we have this CrewAI. From CrewAI, import the components that are helpful for building agents, tasks, task, crew, right? Process. For example, each of the libraries out there in the market, they have a specific structure. I mean, the libraries or the frameworks in the market, they have a specific structure. So we need to follow this structure while building the application. So here, while building the first agent or any agent with Crew AI has got four components. First one is agent. It is helpful for building the AI agent. And we have the task. It is helpful for assigning the tasks to the AI agent. Task is nothing but a function in technical terms. So we'll build the function and assign this as a task to the agent. And if we have a crew of AI agents, we'll use this function, which is nothing but crew. Crew is a class available in the module crew AI. So, and we have the process. Coming to this process is nothing but if you have a multi-crew or let's say multi-agent crew, we need to have a process that defines the flow between these AI agents and as well as a single agent, the process of the single agent to perform the tasks. Clear? And now we'll import some standard tools from Crew AI tools, right? Import Serper dev tool. For example, Serper, to interact with the Serper using the Crew AI, we need to have a Serper dev tool, which is nothing but available for developers, kind of API access to the developers. So to use that, we need to import this Serper dev tool. And then when we are talking about getting the information from the website, we need to scrape the information from website. So in order to do that, we need to import scrape website tool as well, right? So in order to use LLMs, we are going to use LangChain to use the LLMs from different sources. As of now, in this video, we are going to experiment with OpenAI tools, right? So this is not the correct way to import it. So we'll just use the exact class names. Class names are nothing but they're reusable entities that we can just import it in any application that we build using the libraries. So here we are also interacting with OpenAI models using the LangChain. So for that, we need to import LangChain OpenAI library, the module, and then you're going to import chat OpenAI to use chat models. Later, we have this request module to import. So request to send API requests to any other application, any external application, and also we're going to install, import this beautiful soup for web scraping. So it is all available here. And then we need to have JSON to get the particular output from the models in a particular format. So we can see successfully installed LangChain, OpenAI, Alembic, what are all the libraries that we have given as part of this pip install statement. So apart from that, if we have any dependencies, it would also install the all the libraries that are dependent on the particular library here, right? So and we've been facing this some issue with the pip dependency resolver because there is a conflict between the tokenizers library here, tokenizers and transformers libraries. So which is negligible here. So you can just ignore it. Maybe if you are working with some particular models or some other complex applications or some Hugging Face models or some open source models, you would need this. Maybe, or if you are working part of the deep learning models or something like that, you would definitely need to resolve this issue before building the application. You will face the issue while building the application if you do not resolve it. So maybe it's wise to resolve the issue first and then build the application, right? So here, let's just run it. It says no errors, and then let's dive into getting the OpenAI and Serper API keys. Step 3 is to load environment variables, which are nothing but environment variables, which are nothing but OpenAI and Serper API keys, right? So in this case, we'll simply use OS module. You might be wondering why we have imported this OS module here. So it is helpful to set the library, or let's say whatever it is. It is helpful to set the API keys in the local environment so that the system recognizes it, right? So it ran into error because I have just pressed uh, enter by mistake, control enter. So control enter is the shortcut to run any cell within the Google Colab notebook or Jupyter notebook. So we will need these API keys from OpenAI key from platform.openai.com, and we need to get the Serper API key from serper.dev, right? So we'll just simply type open. You need to exactly follow the format or the syntax in which API keys are accepted as variables here. So we'll use all the capital letters here, right? I'll get my OpenAI key later. So os dot environment, sorry, this is not the format. Os dot environment environ. So we just indicate the environment variable with environ and Serper API key. So remember to use all capitals when you simply give API keys, right? And here we have this API keys. Let me just copy my API key, which is confidential, but here I'm just using it for demo purpose. It will be deprecated later, because be careful with your API keys. Let nobody see your API keys. But here I'm just showing it for demo purpose. So be very careful with your API keys, right? And then we have this Serper API key. Both of these API keys will be disabled after this video. So what we would like to do is we would like to keep it confidential on the API keys. So we would never expose it. Even when we expose it, we'll delete it or disable it in the API keys section wherever we have created these API keys. So it will not be reusable by others. We have the step 4, which is to initialize the tools. For example, your AI agent should have capabilities to get the tasks done. So in that case, agents will get the tasks done using the tools. So for that, we need to build the tools. So we have already imported few tools, Serper tool as well as the scrape web tool, web scraping tool. so that we can just simply use those tools to get the tasks done. But apart from that, we might have additional tasks, so that we need to build them or design them from scratch. So here we are going to use, we are going to assign those tools which we have imported earlier, so that they form tools rather than modules, right? Serper dev tool, that's what I have imported. And to scrape tool, I have given the scrape tool, and this scrape tool is scrape website tool, right? So scrape spelling is a bit mistake, and serper as well, we have this mistake here. And for the scrape, so double check while you get some kind of indication with yellow lines, it indicates error or error in the syntax. And we have the step 5 as well here. First I have defined these tools, or I have just assigned these tools, and then coming to the step 5, I have the step 5, which is nothing but initializing the LLM. Because for any agent, you might, if you have watched our earlier videos, we have explained the agents very beautifully, so that you can understand everything at foundation level as well as at a beginner level. You can simply understand it. Everything is explained in that previous videos. So LLM is like the brain of the agent, so that allows it to think, to act, to even understand what humans are saying. So that's the most important part of this LLM, right? So let's try to use GPT 3.5 Turbo, which is the excellent model. Nobody has been using it, but still that is an excellent. It costs a lot. Turbo model costs a lot. It's more of like temperature. It's more of like the premium model, right? And part of this creation of LLM or initialization of LLM, we use the feature, or we use the variable called temperature, which defines the creativity of the LLM, right? So what we are going to do is we'll just simply run it. It initializes the LLM in the entire code. This is the most important part, because if you don't initialize the LLM, the code wouldn't work in coming next steps. So part of this sixth step, we have this here. Maybe I'll just show it here. We're going to have a team of agents that allows us, or that supports us in decision making of shopping product. For example, while you just simply uh, while you simply go to the Amazon and add your carts to the shopping, I mean, add your shopping items to the cart. It's more of like you just revise it again, and maybe remove or add few more items, right? In a similar way, what we'll do is we'll simply use these AI agents that reviews our products and gives us a better suggestion to decide on what products to get it for ourselves, or what products to shop. So part of that, to research about the products, we need to have research agent, and part of this analysis agent, it needs to analyze it, and finally we need to have decision agent, which actually gives us the better suggestion from the analysis report. Or we need to have this decision agent that formats or formulates the report, right? That report serves as a key thing to decide which products should we buy, right? So for this research agent, we are giving two tools, which is nothing but search for the products and scrape the information from the websites. So here, for any agent, you might have seen it in the previous videos. This agent comes with role and goal, and it also has backstory. Backstory is nothing but giving context to this particular agent, so that it understand what type of role is it playing in which type of environments. So this backstory acts as details of the environment in which this agent is acting. So While defining the agent itself, we'll assign the tools, which are nothing but scrape and search tool. And here we give the LLM, which is nothing but the brain. For every agent, we're going to have the same LLM, but with different tools and different instructions. So we give the backstory. So while defining the agent, the structure is very simple here. It is just that you use the agent class. Inside that agent class, you give the role and the goal of the AI agent. Later, we have the backstory, which provides the context of the environment in which it is acting. And later we assign the tools. Later we also use the verbose. Verbose is nothing but the behavior. It defines the behavior of the agent. And then finally we have this LLM, which we have already defined earlier, right? So we have picked this framework because it is so simple to define the AI agents and also to experiment with the AI agents to see their performance in real time, right? And later we have this analysis agent. Let me just get this analysis agent for you. And here we have this analysis agent. Here we're going to have name of this analysis agent as analysis agent. And it is better practice to name agents or any variables which comes with multiple words using this underscore. If you use this underscore, your code looks better than anything else, right? So similar to this research agent, we're going to have this agent, analysis agent, which comes with role, goal, backstory, and tools as well. But the thing is, for this analysis agent, it needs to understand the information and analyze it, compare the information. Like in the sense, if you have multiple items in the information, it needs to compare these multiple items and then analyze them, give the final analysis in summarized information, right? So here what we are giving is, for the research agent, we have given the role as product research specialist. When we say it is specialist, it is going to research about the products completely end to end. And then we're going to have this goal, which is nothing but find comprehensive information about products, including specifications, prices, and user previews or user reviews. So, coming to the backstory, we're going to give the backstory as you are an expert product researcher who helps people make informed product purchasing decisions, right? So in such a way, we're going to give the backstory to the agent, and similarly, we have this analysis agent as well. So which the role of this agent is the data analysis expert, and the goal is to analyze product data, compare features, and identify pros and cons objectively. So, and the backstory is you are a data analyst who specializes in product comparisons. So that's how we give the backstory or the context in which it is operating, right? So, and then it doesn't have any tools because to perform the analysis, LLMs have got their own capabilities to summarize the text or to get the inference from the text, right? So let's just run it. And then later we have this another agent that prepares the report for this entire analysis task, right? So let's just get that code as well. And here for the report agent, we are using the similar syntax to define the agent. And here we are giving the agent role as decision consultant. And the goal is create clear, actionable buying recommendations based on the analysis. Backstory is it's more of like giving the context again. So you are a consumer consultant who helps people make the best purchasing decisions. So it's more of like it gives the suggestions so that based on the suggestions, people can just make the best purchasing decisions. So it is the important thing here. So similar to this analysis agent, it doesn't need any tools because LLMs on its own are capable enough to analyze the information and provide the suggestions, right? Now, what we need to do is we need to create some tasks for each of the agent. For the first agent, of course, this agent has tools, but with this particular Crew AI framework, we need to use tasks to use these tools. For example, we need to define particular tasks so that within the process of executing the tasks, agents use tools for particular tasks. Task is more of like part of the process in which the process has a list of tasks, so that at every task agent uses particular tool to get the task done. So it's very clear, right? So unlike some other popular frameworks in the market, Crew AI comes with four important components: agent, task, tools, and let me just go back to our initial conversation, the process. So Crew AI comes with four important components. First one is agent, task, and crew, and finally we have the process. So since we have multiple agents involved in this entire operation, like research agent, analysis agent, report agent, we're going to have a crew of AI agents. So we're going to definitely use that crew class part of this entire crew definition, right? And then we have the tasks, different tasks, or at least there is a process. First, research agent comes into the picture and works on the research task. Later, we have the analysis agent, which summarizes the entire information gathered by the research agent. And finally, we have the report agent, which drafts the report with suggestions so that the users can make better decisions while purchasing the products, right? So here, let's just define the tasks. For defining the tasks, for defining the tasks, we might have a function that defines the tasks. Let's say we're going to have maybe shopping tasks. Let's say we have the definition of the function which comes with multiple tasks in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to simply create shopping tasks. For example, if we want to shop particular products, what we'll do is we'll just research for the product and then analyze the product, which means compare different products, then finally come to a particular decision. So similarly, what we need to do is we need to first define tasks for each of the agent. So using tools is only possible with the definition of the tasks. So each task comes with the description. For example, research task for research agent. The task is to research and gather comprehensive information about product 1 and product 2. For this function, which is nothing but create shopping tasks, we will pass both the products, product 1 and product 2, right? So initially the budget was set to none, which means no budget is fixed, and the priorities are also none. For example, if you want to prioritize the products from top renowned companies or renowned providers, what we'll do is we'll also search for the reviews, where the priority is to search for the best reviewed product, right? So, and the description serves as instructions for the agent to execute this task, right? So, for each product, find latest specifications and features, current market prices from multiple sources, user reviews and ratings, availability and variants. So, focus on the factual, up to date information from reliable sources, budget consideration, budget if budget else, I mean, if it is not set, if it is set, you can use the same budget. If it is not set, no specific budget mentioned, right? Similar to the budget, we have the user priorities as well. If user gives any priorities, priorities will be given to this function and this function will be executed in the background. If no priorities are given, we're going to proceed with the default priority, which is nothing but general comparison needed. So this task has to be assigned to particular agent. So in that description itself, in that task definition itself, we're going to have agent name, which is nothing but research agent. And we're going to define the expected output as well, which is nothing but detailed research report with specifications, prices, and reviews for both the products. It means the expected output from the research agent should be given in such a way that it is a detailed research report which will be analyzed in the later phase by the analysis agent, right? So similar to the research task, we are going to define the analysis task as well, which comes with the description, agent, expected output as well. So for this agent or analysis agent, we're going to provide the context, which is nothing but the the research report that was provided by the research agent from the research task, right? So for this analysis agent, we're going to give the context, which is nothing but the research task. Research task outputs research report, right? So research report is being given as an input or the context to the analysis agent, because that is what it is going to analyze in the analysis task, right? And coming to the report task, which is for the reporting agent or the decision consultant agent, right? So this task comes with the research agent, as well as, I mean, the description, the agent, which is nothing but report agent, and then expected output, which is nothing but clear, actionable buying recommendation with reasoning. Reasoning, we mentioned this reasoning because this is the most important agent that makes us decide for buying a particular product, right? And coming to this context, we have this research task as well as the analysis task, because for this decision agent to make a report with better recommendations to buy a product, we need to give all the context from analysis task as well as the research task, so that it has a better understanding and better context with all the information, so that it can provide better recommendations, and then let us decide the better product to buy, right? So finally, we are going to return every single task that this agent has performed, right? So this task is going to be returned to this the crew that we are going to define in later phase, because while we define the crew, we need to define the tasks for the crew as well. For example, the pilot of the cabin runs the flight or the drives the flight, and the cabin crew, rest of the cabin crew, for example, senior head or the head of the cabin crew, he or she is going to guide the team in terms of service in the flight. And we're going to have the actual cabin crew who are at the service of the flight members or flight audience, right? Similarly, while we define the um, crew of this entire agentic crew, we're going to have particular tasks for each and every member of the crew. So each and every of the agent of the crew, right? So now we have defined the shopping tasks here, and then let's just execute this first, in the sense which interprets the entire code. If there is any error in the code, it is going to show us. So similarly, now we have to create the shopping crew, right? So for that, we're going to use this code to create the shopping crew. So in that shopping crew function, we're going to define the crew, which is nothing but the crew variable, and we will use this crew class, which comes with the agent's definition, tasks definition, process definition, and then verbose. Verbose is nothing but the behavior of the entire crew, right? So here we're going to give this research agent, analysis agent, report agent as part of the agent's assignment. And then we have the tasks, which we have already defined as part of the tasks in the previous code. Here, if you observe here, while we use this function to create the tasks, the tasks will be assigned as part of this function execution, so that in the later phase we are going to have this tasks as um, the function execution, right? And then we have the process, which is nothing but the process dot sequential, which means in the order of the task or agent definition itself, the tasks will be executed, right? And once we create this crew, we need to return this crew, because once the crew is ready, once the crew is hired, they have to be employed at the service, right? For this, we'll execute this and then move on to this next part of this code, which comes with the running this shopping agent. For example, to manage this crew of AI agents, we need to have a manager agent, right? So for that manager agent, we need to have some particular agent that runs the entire shopping tasks, right? So here This is the most important module where we create the shopping agent, or more of like running the shopping agent. It is more of like it gives the what is happening within the crew, or what's happening inside the crew of AI agents, right? So here we also define the tasks, which are nothing but crew shopping tasks, right? I mean create shopping tasks, which we have already defined earlier in this code. So which means for tasks to be assigned to the AI agents or crew, we need to first define them. So for that, for defining the tasks, we'll just create the shopping tasks from the product one and product two, which we assign to the tasks itself. Later, we're going to create the team of AI agents, which is nothing but the crew from the create shopping crew. From for this shopping crew, like let's say the shopping team, which researches, analyzes, and finally generates a report. We're going to send some predefined tasks here, which we have defined earlier within the same code snippet, right? And finally, we need to get the result from the entire shopping crew. For that, we are using the crew that we have defined earlier. We are using the kickoff function, which serves as the kickstarting function for this crew. So when we use this function, the crew of AI agents will be executed in the similar manner. And finally, we need to return the result as part of the running this AI agent, right? And we have this for this demo purpose, what we have done is we have simply used some demo function here. Let me just use it for you. So what we are doing is we have simply created another function that calls shopping agent function with the product one and product two, and also the preset budget, and also the priorities given as camera quality, battery life, and performance. So this is the sample example. So we are going to run this agent within another function. Maybe for your better understanding, we can also run this function by directly calling this function direct run shopping agent, so that this works as a main function to run this entire shopping crew. So what I am doing is I'm just simply calling this run shopping agent function within the demo phone comparison function, where I am going to compare two phones, which is nothing but iPhone 15. Why don't we just compare the iPhone 16, right? Let me just use this iPhone 16 and Samsung Galaxy S25 as well, S24 as well, if I'm not wrong. So the budget set here is $800 to $1,200, right? And my priorities are camera quality, battery life, and performance. So let's just run this. And later, what we're going to do is we are going to simply run this interactive shopping agent. Maybe let me just run this result, right? Demo phone comparison, right? Let me just run this. Now I'm going to see the entire process that this agent is executing in the background. For example, at first, let me just take a step back. At first, it says all the details that I have given earlier, starting shopping decision agent, because I have given it as part of my run shopping agent. Here I have printed the process, starting shopping decision agent, as well as comparing product one and product two. And finally, here it says budget and then priorities that I have given earlier. And it says the crew execution status. Here, if you see crew execution status started and the name is crew, you can also give the different name for your shopping crew, right? So, and finally, it says the idea of the entire conversation. So, tool argument are nothing but what we are providing, the product one and product two, right? So part of this entire crew execution, first we have this product research specialist that is working at first to generate the research report. So here it says the task is research and gather comprehensive information about iPhone 16 and Samsung Galaxy 24. For each product, find latest specifications and features, current market prices for from multiple sources, user reviews and ratings, availability and variants focus on factual, up-to-date information from reliable sources, which we have given this as part of the description of the AI agent task. Clear? And now let's move ahead with this agentic crew execution. Here it has given a warning here. If you see, the warning is serialized value may not be as expected. For example, it says depreciation warning, which means some of the modules that we are using as part of the inbuilt modules, they might be deprecated, or it might be upgraded to the some other version. So we might be using lower version here. Maybe there is some incompatibility between the modules that we are using. So we might check, if it is some kind of negligible warning, you can negligible, you can neglect it. If it is not negligible, you might have to correct it. But as of now, it is negligible. So I am going to neglect it and then go ahead with the next task, which is nothing but used search the internet with serper. It says product research specialist has invoked this search the internet with serper tool, and it thought I need to gather detailed information about the iPhone 16 and Samsung Galaxy S24, focusing on special specifications, prices, user reviews, and availability from reliable resources. So it is using the tool search the internet with serper, so which is nothing but serper dev tool, right? And the input is iPhone 16 latest specifications and features, first tool input, and the tool output was search parameters along with the information that it has gathered from the web. I'm talking about the first product, and then later we have the information about the second product as well. But part of extracting the information from the reliable sources, we need to execute this read website content tool, which is nothing but scrape website content, right? So part of that, it is going to scrape each and every website which is authentic or reliable. So in that case, it has got direct link to apple.com iPhone 16 product specifications page. So it is going to extract all the features from that page, and then later it is going to search the content or search the internet with the serper tool using search the internet with serper tool, which is nothing but serper dev tool, right? Now it is going to search for Galaxy 24 specifications and features similar to the above tool or above task. It is going to get the information from the websites using the search, scrape website tool, and then it is going to give us the final specifications report or the research report from the research task, right? And here next, the second agent, which is nothing but the product analysis tool, is analysis agent is going to be invoked. It says the task is completed as part of the product research, right? And then it says the status is completed. It has used multiple tools as part of the process. And here the another task, which is nothing but product research specialist has worked on searching for the information from the web. So for second product, so it says its task has also been completed. And later we have the data analysis expert, which is nothing but it is going to analyze the information that it has got from the research specialist. So it says the task that it is going to perform, and then it says product research specialist task has been completed. Later this in report has been given to this data analysis expert. It says final answer is nothing but feature by feature comparison, display, chipset, camera, battery life, storage, operating system. And it also analyzes the price to value analysis. It also gives the information on price to value analysis by analyzing the features and products, the comparisons between the products and all. Later it also gives the pros and cons in terms of buying the product, and then performance metrics. And it also analyzes the reviews, which is nothing but user satisfaction analysis from the reviews, right? It also gives us the conclusion. Later we can see the crew execution status here. Once the data analysis expert it completes its task, We can also see it here, which means first product research specialist has completed, second data analysis expert has also completed its task, and finally we have this decision consultant agent. So it will be invoked once data analysis expert completes its task, right? So what it is going to do is, so it is going to create a final buying recommendation report for both the products. Let us say iPhone 16 and Galaxy 24 in our use case here, in our example here. So it is going to provide the information of the task it is going to perform, and then later we can see all the crew execution task, crew execution status. First one is product research specialist have completed its task, and later we have this data analysis expert, it has completed its task, and finally decision consultant agent has been invoked, and its response is nothing but executive summary, because it is responsible for reporting to the end user. So it generates the executive summary. It is more common in GPT models to expect this executive summary from the models in response, right? So it says the recommendation because that is what we need, and the best choice for different user type. For example, it is going to understand different user types. If they are focused on the budget, they can proceed with the Samsung Galaxy rather than the iPhone 16. If they are focused on the feature, then they can proceed with the iPhone 16, while it is while compared to Samsung Galaxy, it is non-budget friendly, or we can say Samsung Galaxy is budget friendly if they are focused on the budget. If they are focused on the operating system performance, iOS enthusiasts may go for iPhone 16. Android fans might go for Samsung Galaxy 24. So it is just a recommendation based on your user type or the user type. They can select particular phones. So it is also mentioning that S24 operates with Android 14 version. Final verdict or the final conclusion is nothing but iPhone 16 stands out as the premium choice for users seeking a high quality device with top tier features, right? So whatever it is, and we have this Samsung Galaxy verdict as well. And then finally, we have alternative suggestions. If you are not comfortable with both of them, it also suggests this another product. If users are open to exploring other options within the given budget range, considering devices like Google Pixel 7 or OnePlus 10 could be a better option, which provides the additional choices with unique features and performance, right? So, in conclusion, the decision between the iPhone 4, i16, and Galaxy 24 ultimately comes down to the individual priorities, which means it is lacking additional context. Because if you give your user type, if you're focused on the budget rather than the features, or else if you're focused on the features rather than the budget, if you give that information as well, it would give you complete final recommendation. Because we have given less information to it, it says only the decision depends on the user based on the user type. So it just gives the recommendation rather than the complete decision. So which means finally we can see this task execution status by different agents. First one, we have seen this product research specialist, and we have this data analysis expert, and finally we have this decision consultant. So final, the crew completion or crew status is given by this. So the end report has been given like this. So finally, when you experiment with this crew AI agent, you can completely go through this report that it has given, right? So finally, we get this report from this decision consultant, which is the most important agent or the agent teammate to interact with the end user. So the final report will be given, uh, which is given by the decision consultant agent. So, with this, we have seen the simple agent building using the Crew AI. So, if you have any more ideas, or if you have any specific framework recommendation, you can also tell us in the comment section. We would love to come back with those use cases and with those tools or frameworks that you are comfortable with or you want us to make videos on. Thank you all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of this amazing live session. And we'll come up with some amazing, interesting videos and amazing challenges in next videos, part of our deep dive series. Thank you all. Thanks for watching. Signing off, Saharsha Kondaviti, directly from the Data Valley's AI Center of Excellence. Thanks for watching.